Yeah.
So
I can understand that, because before, I'm the opposite. Before I went on Brazil, I was worse than a robot. I just couldn't connect with anything or anyone, and I kept everything back. So I more or less put a 6-foot wall up.
yeah, someone once called me a cactus because I was so prickly. Like if they tried to get close, it was like yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I like that phrase actually. That's a good way of putting it, because because people used to say to me that know me, oh, you're very hard to let me in. You won't let me in, and I used to say, I have, haven't I? And I didn't notice it. And they always, maybe it's the Irish saying, but they always used to say you don't know yourself until someone knows you from the outside, looks in. You know, say a newcomer like yourself seems to notice more about me than I know about myself. And I started to believe that a little bit, just a little bit. Not a lot, because I think sometimes outsiders that you don't know tend to see something that we don't see in us. And that's where, are you with me now? That's where they start using the big word judging.
Yeah, or some friends just accept you for who you are, which is fabulous, but then don't challenge you either. Whereas a stranger may challenge you more because they don't know you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And those that challenge you more, they're the ones that give you a migraine.
Oh, no, I hope I haven't given you a migraine now. Like,
no,
I don't want you to have a migraine.
No, you can fire away, absolutely.
Well, music, I just listen to music all the time. Like when I'm driving, like even when I walk down to the shop, I've got my earbuds in. Yeah. And sometimes it really affects my mood, and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes the lyrics of the song just really are saying what I'm actually feeling, and I think that's quite powerful. There's a Take That song that's called Have a Little Patience. Patience. That's it, yeah. And I kind of wanted to tell people that, just be patient with me. You know, I'm going through stuff, just be patient. But I couldn't find the words until I heard that Take That song. Because I didn't...
Well, mine is, you know, I think it's Ron Keating, Life is a Roller Coaster.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you listen to the lyrics, it's so true. Life is a roller coaster. You've just got to find it. And when I listen to that, that gives me goosebumps. And then the other one I like, which was my daughter's favourite, was Van Morrison. Have I told you lately that I love you? Yeah, that is there's some amazing words in that.
I don't think people say it enough.
No, because she used to say that to me, very old-fashioned she was. Maybe it's my fault for bringing her up that way, but both of us were very strict, but not where we just dominated a life, but I forgot what to say now. What were we saying?
You were talking about Van Morrison, and have I told you lately that I loved you?
And, well, she went for a phrase of Gothic, you know, dark clothes when she was younger, black lipstick, and I let her do it. I just thought, okay. But she got bullied at school because she's got olive skin. And so she used to get called the P word all the time. So we took her out of that school and put her into a private school, Bradford Grammar School in Bradford. And she loved it because she was accepted. And that's another word she always used to like to use is Mum, you accept me. My dad accepts me. She said, and I love the word acceptance. And she said that on her bed as well. You know, I've been accepted now, and I can let go. And sometimes people don't let people be accepted. And I think that's quite sad in this world that we're coming to. Especially they say lockdown's a bit this and a bit that, and it's changed them and it's done this, and I think whatever.
Yeah, because I worked everywhere, but I worked in Thailand for a bit, and there was lots of people walking around with t-shirts going, same, but different. Yeah, we are the same, but we're also very different in many different ways. And we can't, it's
Yeah.
saying accept the differences, but accept that we are the same.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all are human beings. We're all kind of the same.
Absolutely.
Got 5 fingers and 5 toes.
Yeah.
And things like that.
We all bleed the same.
Yeah.
We all bleed the same. And when it comes out, I used to say that to people on my wards. I used to say, when the blood comes out, it's red. So we're all the same. It doesn't matter what colour we are. But, life's not like that. And I wish it was better, but it's not.
Yeah, what I've kind of learned in my young life is that we can only control.
You're not old, Lydia.
I'm not that young either, I assure you.
Don't look old.
Oh, bless. Is that we can only control so much, and some things we can't control at all. So
absolutely,
we've just got to let that go. Like when my mum died, it was just like, no, this isn't right. She was of course older than me in a certain age, but it felt so wrong, and I wanted to control it. It was like, no.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to work out that I couldn't control that, because she actually, it was a suspected stroke to start with, so she was in the hospital, and then it changed to cancer. Then when she died, it was a brain tumour that she'd had all her life. And it was undiagnosed. So
and that's me. That's what I've got. I had it, or the saying that I had it when I was in my teens. So it's strange, isn't it, how life affects it. So we've got something here in common.
But she didn't know.
Weird.
She didn't know.
No,
the doctors didn't know until the autopsy. Does it feel better? Is that the right word? I don't know. To know?
No.
Is
it what, sorry?
Does it feel better to know or not to know?
No, I think it feels better to know now. For me. Because that's what I'm dying of. Because it's spread. And, they can't operate. When I spoke to my specialist last week on Zoom, he said if we operated, you have the choice of either ending up in a wheelchair paralysed. And I said, I can't do that. I don't want to live like that. So I made that choice to just carry on and just look for look. Well, I think what I've learned as well is I'm living for today and then let tomorrow come. But going back to your mum, because I didn't know my parents very well, my mum became very ill with cancer. And I went to see her. I was still nursing, so I went to see her. And when she passed away, my stepsister wouldn't... she was dying. My stepsister wouldn't let me touch her and you go away, because she wasn't in a convent and I was. And it was like, being ostracized. So what I did was, to cut the story short, I went back at midnight when she passed away, went into the mortuary where the people knew me. I don't know where I got the strength and the courage. And I lifted her up from the box. I've never shared this with anybody after this. And I lifted her up from the box and I just said, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I remember seeing the two men wiping their eyes and I put her down and then I covered her up. And I gave her a kiss. And then when I left, I'll never forget his name, Eric, the porter. And he just turned around and said, never seen anyone do that. He said, you've got very big muscles. And he was trying to make a joke at you. And you've got very big muscles. I said, I've been nursing all these years. I've got to have muscles. But he just said, what an amazing thing you've just done. I've never seen anybody do that. And I just looked at him, and as I was turning round, I said, my mother hated me. And that's my way of telling her that I've got the last word, that I love her. And he said, I won't forget those words. And I turned the love and the hate around. And some people don't do that, you know, they go to the grave with bitterness.
Did you feel that by doing that you kind of accepted that she had died? Because some people can't do that either.
Yeah, no, that's when I let go.
Yeah.
Because I looked through her background and did a lot of research on my mum, and she went through more or less what I did, child abuse, things like that. And yeah, and that's why she gave us up and left us in Ireland. So I get where she was coming from. And I forgave her, because if you take bitterness with you, you can't go into the future. Bitterness eats you up.
It does, and most of the time the other person doesn't really care or is not interested. It's only you that's being affected by it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Is
that one thing that you would say to someone who's going through it, or has recently lost somebody, or is going through the grieving process?
Yeah, I would, because they offered me to do grieving counselling. It was either that one or domestic violence, which I went through. But I didn't want to. But if I had the chance to do grieving counselling, I would probably say that to them. You know, don't, whatever he or she has done, at the end of the day, and because people forget, I don't know if you know this, Lydia, as a nurse, when people are dying, the last thing that goes is their hearing. So I always used to say to people, go up to them and tell them you love them. Oh, I can't. She or he hated me, and I went, no, it's too late for that now. And I didn't dictate to them. They understood where I was coming from. And, you know, I've not had one, when I was working, I didn't have one complaint. They all did that. And, I used to get flowers and little cards saying, you know what, you've stopped me from being bitter. You've stopped me from doing this. And I feel like he or she's on my shoulder now, watching me and saying, thank you. And it's like asking for forgiveness.
It kind of brings peace by the sounds of it.
Yeah, peace is better. The right word. See, that's what I love about you. You always come out with better words than me. I'm not very good, but yeah, peace is a better word. Bringing that closure and peace. Yeah.
You've shared with me about your situation. What would you like others to do for you now, or what would you like to say to others? What would you like others to do?
What, on the grieving side, or health-wise, or for me?
Any, really, like either the grieving side, or because of your situation now, regarding your illness, or.
I think that's. I keep writing it down, and I think my main question, if anyone was to ask me, and I sometimes want to have the courage.
Oh, don't give the monkeys what they think, sorry.
No, I know, and I wish I was like you, but I'm not. But when people on the outside, like some of my close friends, say, how are you? And they don't let you finish, I would love to be able to say, have the guts. I forgot the question you asked now.
Just what would you like people to do for you now?
Yeah. And I just think I would love them to listen. It's that big word. I used to listen to everybody. Patients on my wards, not all of them didn't have anyone come and visit. So on my next shift, I would bring them some flowers or a box of chocolates, and I'd leave them with a little note, and I might put a phony name on, but they used to wake up going, oh, look what I've just got, Simone, and I'm going, oh, isn't that lovely, the thinking, I told you the thinking of it, and it's from me, but they don't know that, and that was my way, and I would listen, and I think that's my main purpose in life, before I ever ended my life, was for people to listen. When I go to the hospital, they're doing the same. They're all talking to one another, and they forgot where I am. So I just want that voice to be listened